Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. O Lord, please let us understand each other. Let us not quarrel each other. And the study, whatever we do, let it be beneficial. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, as you all know, we are on the second class on Drsya Viveka, an inquiry into the nature of the seer and the seen. In my first class, we did discuss about few fundamental ideas about this inquiry. And also, if I boil down the whole discussion, three main points which we have to remember, which takes or which runs over the entire text of this Drsya Viveka, an inquiry into the nature of the seer and the seen. What is that? The first idea, postulation, which always we should keep it in mind is the seer and the seen are different. The seer and the seen are different. The second is the seer is one, the seer is one, and the seen are many. Same thing. The knower is the one, and the known are many. And the third is the seer is changeless, eternal, seen are constantly changing. So the first is seer and seen are different. Second is seer is one, seen are many. The third is seer is changeless and seen are constantly changing. If these three postulations, basic axioms, if you can keep it in your mind, then the whole Drsya Viveka analysis can be understood in a better way. Now, if you see in Taittiriya Upanishad, the discrimination of the 5 sheets we can see. And if you remember Tattva Bodha or Aproksha Anubhuti, then inquiry into the nature of 3 types of bodies we try to see. And the self is different from these 3 types of bodies. The self is different from these 5 types of sheets. Panchakosha Viveka, we say. That was the sadhana or intellectual thinking was given by the Upanishads. Now, in this particular Prakarana Grantha, the introductory text, the author takes a very interesting a process where he always try to discuss or he always try to discriminate between the seer and the seen. Who is the seer? Who is the seen? What is the seer? What is the seen? This runs all along the text. So that we have to keep it in our mind. So it is a process of thinking. And the underlying argument, if you see, from the known, we are traveling. Slowly, we'll be shifting ourselves to the unknown. From the known, we will be shifting to the unknown. And also, from the gross, slowly, we will shift to the subtle. The discrimination, the process of discrimination further progresses, then slowly, the comparisons between subtler. So this also we should keep it in a mind. Either in the Panchadashi, there are 15 types of this type of discussions. The basic argument is from gross, slowly we go to the subtle. From the effect, slowly we go to the cause. Or from the product, we go to the source. This is what we have to understand. Now, as already told, the first shloka is the Pratigna shloka. I mean, whatever has to be told in the entire text has been told in a nutshell form in the first shloka itself. That is called Pratigna shloka or Charama shloka it is called. Now, I mean, different chandas we have got meters. One is called Anushtup chandas. In this particular verses, it has got four parts. In the first loka, if you see, there are four parts. Each part has been described in detail in the next four verses. So the four parts of the first sloka has been discussed in detail from the verses 2 to verses 5. And there are different type of analogies or different types of examples will be coming will be going through, and author is trying to narrate three types of seers. Probably if you remember my first shloka's explanation, you should be able to understand there are three types of seers. The first type of seer is what? Senses. We have got five types of sense organs of knowledge, and the sense objects are seen, and the five sense organs are the seer. So this is the first seer. The second, the sense organs we become a seen, and the mind become the seer. So the first seer was sense organs, the second seer became the mind. The first scene was sense objects, the second scene became the sense organs. Then the third seer is witness or sakshi or chaitanya or the self. And the scene is mind. So this whole process is discussed based on three types of seers. So this in a nutshell we saw in the verse number 1. In the verse number 2, we will try to discuss the first type of seer and the scene. Now you should be able to tell who is the first type of seer and the scene. The first type of the seer is sense organs, organs of knowledge, five sense organs of knowledge, and corresponding relative sense objects are the seen. Seer, seen, perceiver, perceived, knower, known, all are synonyms. Are illumined and illuminator and illumined. This is also can be taken. Second verse, Neelapita Stula Sukshma Rasva Dirgadi Bedataha Nana Vidhani Rupani Pashel Lochanam Ekadha. On account of various forms appears as blue, yellow, grass, subtle, short, long, and etc. The eye, on the other hand, sees them itself one and the same. Means the sense objects are many. There are varieties of sense objects. There are many sense objects, and they keep on changing. But the seer called eyes, it is same or constant. Now again, you have to remember that three things. First is the seer and the seen are different. Now I am perceiving, for an example, I am perceiving a red rose. Red rose is the seen object, and the seer is eyes. And then I saw some yellow cloth, different cloth. Then I saw a different shape. One is a circle shape, one is a triangle shape, one is a rectangle shape, quadrilateral shape, or whatever. Different types of objects, different sized objects, different shaped objects, different colored objects, and which are constantly changing also. So one is the eyes are different from the objects. Otherwise, I cannot see. Say for an example, even I am wearing a spectacles, goggles. Even with the help of goggles or spectacles, I see my vision becomes better. Who has got the defect of the eye? But still, the spectacles, how much ever is near, but still it is separate from the eyes. That's why it is able to see. So the seer is distinct from the seen. So eyes are different from the red rose or yellow cloth. The second is the seer is one and seen are many. I saw the red rose with the help of eyes. I saw the yellow cloth with the help of same eyes. And I saw a circled object, round shaped object, again from the eyes. Then I saw a triangle shaped object, again from the eyes. So seer is one and seen are many. Then this eyes, more or less, it is a changeless, and the seen are constantly changing. So when I say seer the sense organs, the question may come for all of us, Swamiji, the eye shape or the size of the eye when I was born and now I'm in a middle age, the size of the eyes has been changed, isn't it? How can you say then the eyes, I mean, the seer is constant and the seen is continuously changing? How this third formula, third axiom, third postulation can hold good? Now, if you see, yes, from the childhood or from the middle age and from the particular age, if you see, the probably the eyeball of the ball of the size of the eye, size of an eyeball might have been increased. But that increase or change in the size of the eyeball, it is very less actually. But if you see rose, every day it keeps on changing. A cloth, it keeps on changing. So relatively, the eyes are more eternal and constant than any sense objects. And one more interesting point which we have to see, sense organs means indriyas. When we say sense organs or indriyas, immediately we see the external eye, external ear, external tongue, and the external skin, isn't it? But when we say indriya, the Vedanta, when it says indriya or sense organs, when they say eyes, they don't mean this white, white colored place with a black patch that we don't see. We don't mean that is an eyes, it is an only mere external instrument for us indriyas which are inside, which is a part of the subtle body. So that indriyas, it doesn't change so easily. That's why someone has got an eye, but still is a blind person, is unable to see. Why? The external instrument called eye, it is in proper condition. There is no problem, but still one is not able to perceive. One is not able to see. Why? Because his sense organs are not working. So there is not a physical problem in that, rather the indriya, which is the power between this instrument, is not proper. So that's why when indriyas or sense organs, when we say from the Vedantic point, it is not the external instrument or external manifestation. We say that it is inside, which is a part of subtle body. So that fine thing we have to understand. Now we have one more technical word, form. Form actually, if you see Sanskrit, if you take literal meaning, it is mostly color. So it is red color, blue color, green color, or colorless. Colorless is also a color, according to Vedanta. And now, why I'm telling this, mentioning this particular point, it is very interesting because we don't think like this. When I perceive colors, no doubt. I perceive different shapes, fine. I perceive the even when the whether by seeing itself, I can understand to larger extent the particular object is soft or hard, or it is mediocre, or it is okay, or it is big, it is small, and the length coming to whether it is small, short height, or it has got greater heights. So all these things we can perceive, no doubt. But knowingly, unknowingly perceiving with all the objects, the eye instantly it perceives first and foremost the color actually. For example, if there is an object, a small object which has got with the color, and a particular big object, a colorless probably, immediately for eye, the object which is has got a color, it is much perceived easily. Easily we can perceive at the first sight itself, the eye is capable able to perceive it. So in literal form, in literal meaning of the form means it is color. But actually, added meaning is form is it is not only color, it is shapes and it is a different sizes and all these things. Now, Neela, Pita, Stula, Sukshma, Rasva, Dirgadi, Vedata. Adi means etc. Neela means blue, Pita, yellow, Stula, grass, Sukshma, subtle, Rasva, short, Dirga, long, Adi, etc. So, like there are different types of varied things, we, objects are there. Some are short, some are long, some are small, some are big. I've got different colors, different sizes, different shapes, different textures. All these things are perceived by one instrument as called eye or eyes. So that is why they are saying that eyes are the seer and the objects are the seen. Now, the same idea or the same logic, the same argument can be extended to another other sense organs also. Like I'm hearing very terrible sound. I'm hearing pleasant music. I'm hearing noise. I'm hearing very feeble sound. Sound, varieties of sound, different types of sounds, but Indriya or the sense organ is only one ear. I've got a very fragrant smell, pungent smell, or very bad odor, bad smell. Immediately we close our mouth. Sorry, nose. So different types of smell is perceived by only one instrument as called the nose. Then when it comes to taste, my goodness, our taste buds are so active. So we have got different types of tastes and different types of experiences. But one sense organ. Then I'm feeling cold, I'm feeling hot, I'm feeling chill, I'm feeling lukewarm, or I'm feeling okay, pleasant. All different types of experiences by one sense organ that is called skin. So means all the sense objects are called seen, perceived object, and the seer or the perceiver are sense organs. And here, if you see, things are continuously changing. Flowers, shapes, or colors, all these things are continuously changing, but the sense organs are not continuously changing. That's why the seen is the sense objects and the seer is the sense organs. And also, very interesting thing is the change is possible only in things which are imagined with reference to a substratum. This idea, when it comes to Sakshi or Chaitanya, you will be able to understand. So objects are changing, but the perceiver is not changing. Relatively, the perceiver, the seer is not changing. Now, we will see in the next sloka, the second part of the first sloka has been seen in the third verses. Let us try to see. Here, the eye, on account of its changeable nature, is an object of perceived, or it becomes the seen actually. So, how it is the seer becomes seen in the third verses, we shall try to see. आन्द्यमा आन्द्यमान्द्यपटत्वेषु नेत्रधर्मेषु चैकदः सङ्कल्पयेन्मनः श्रोत्रत्वगादौ योज्यतामिदम्. Andya. Andya means blindness. Mandya means dullness. Then patutva. Patutva means sharpness. Eshu, all these. Netra dharmeshu. Characteristics of eye or nature of the eyes. Cha ekada. Mind is only one. Sankalpayet manaha. Because it here sankalpayet means it cognizes, it understands. Mind understands, mind cognizes all these things. Shrotra tvagado means the function of the ear, skin, and all other sense organs functions. It cognizes, it understands. Yojata, so it also applies to other sense organs. Means basically, like blindness or sharpness or dullness, all these things, different varieties of nature of the sense organs are perceived by the mind, single mind. Now, mind is only one and the five sense objects. So, mind is different from sense objects. We all remember first postulation. The seer is different from the seen. Mind is different from the sense objects. Then the seer is one, seen are many. The mind is one, the seen, the sense objects are many, that is five sense objects. And also, compared to mind and compared to sense organs, mind is relatively constant and the sense organs are there, keep on changing. So basically, now the seer number two, that is mind, is explained. So when the mind becomes seer, the scene, what is the scene then? Here the scene is the eyes or any other sense objects. In the first point, the seer is sense objects, sense organs, the scene was sense objects. Now the seer number two, mind is the seer and the sense objects are seen. Now this question may come to all of us or to you. Swamiji, why there's so much intellectual gymnasium, intellectual exercises, thought process you are making us to do? What is the necessity? What is the necessity if you ask? Slowly, slowly, the author will lead us to Sakshi, Chaitanya, or consciousness. I am thinking that sometimes objects, because something happens to my mobile, immediately I feel so disturbed. My mind is off. Why? Because my mobile is not working properly. So much attached with the mind. Sometimes my body is not keeping well. I'm not well, so I'm not feeling okay. So I'm very gloomy or I'm feeling dull, etc., etc. Because so much attached with the body. Similarly with the sense organs, similarly with the mind, similarly with the feelings, similarly with the emotions, and that way we struggle and we suffer. And we are undergoing so many experiences, joy and sorrow, happiness and unhappiness, all these things, which is a part of our life. But when we doing this type of an inquiry, discrimination, what happens? Slowly, we will be starting getting away from this. We'll be starting discriminating ourselves. We'll be taking a step back so that we'll be able to see the things objectively, and we'll believe with it. We'll be able to handle our body and mind properly, and we'll be able to live the peaceful life, and we'll be able to attach ourselves, or we'll be able to perceive, or we'll be able to understand, we'll be able to experience. It is not a right word though, but we'll be able to understand that I am the experiencer, that is the consciousness. So to remove the ignorance, to remove the doubt, to remove the uh, wrong knowledge, wrong cognition, wrong understanding for us, the author is trying to uh, correct our understanding or thinking. That's why he's doing all this intellectual process. So that's why I am also asking you to do this type of intellectual gymnasium or thought process or whatnot. And if you see, the mind is this now, seer number two, we are. The mind is the seer and the sense objects are seen. The author is telling about the perception, the eye perception. And if you think seriously, the perception can be categorized into three types of perceptions. What is that? One is total perception. Total perception means what? Strong perception. When the sense organs are in a good condition, healthy condition, then I will be able to perceive things properly. Say, for an example, a young body in generally, he has got a sharp eyes, he has got a healthy eyes, so he can see everything. Then slowly I become old, I get cataract, then I cannot see things, my vision is blurred, or I get short-sightedness or long-sightedness. Then I cannot see either the things are distant, or I cannot see things at close. But whereas the healthy eyes, it can see everything, whatever the frequency is allowed or available to this normal human being's eye, then that everything is perceived. I can read small letters, I can read big letters. I can see close things and I can see things at distant. Why? My eyes are in good condition. So it's called total perception, strong perception. Then the second is total non-perception. Total non-perception, I am not able to perceive at all. Say, for an example, someone is blind. So the blind person can never perceive the colors at all. He can never perceive the forms at all. He can never perceive the world as we perceive. For him, everything is black and white or a bland world. Why? Because he's not able to perceive the colors. And of course, someone has got color blindness, which I'll come to afterwards. And for example, someone is deaf, is not able to hear. So, such a music, you are appreciating music, but he cannot appreciate music because he cannot hear at all. Then dumb, he cannot speak. So, like this, total non-perception. The third is partial perception, partial non-perception. What do I mean this by this? Means sense organs are able to operate in a partial way. Say, for an example, someone has got a cataract. So when the good sunlight is there, he or she is able to see things to the larger extent. But because of twilight or because of sunlight, dim sunlight, he or she cannot see things. So that's why a person who has got a cataract, generally he or she may not be able to drive properly at evenings. Someone has got color blindness. If he or she has got color blindness, that particular colors he or she will not be able to perceive, he or she will not be able to recognize. Then for because of old age or because of some problem, I don't hear properly. I hear few words, few things with particular distance in the particular frequency or wavelength. or more or less I cannot hear. So I wear a hearing mission, hearing aid. I need a hearing aid. So similarly, diabetic people, a person who has got diabetic, their the skin sensation is very bad. For an example, so I mean, they get a cut, they get a thrown, I mean, a thorn prick, or they get a cut. Immediately, they don't understand. Whereas a common person is going just a small pinch, like a small stone. Yes, very little sharpness, very little sharp is there. Even it pricks his food. Immediately he says, ah, and he sees what happened. Why? His skin, the sensitivity is high. But whereas a diabetic person, if he stabs on that, he doesn't understand because the sensitivity of the skin has gone down. Even if he has got a small cut, he may not understand because the skin sensitivity has come down. So this is what I mean, partial perception, partial non-perception. Now, if you see with the eyes itself, someone have got full perception, the same person has got partial perception in the old age, and in the probably in the dying age or the advanced age, he's not able to see at all. He has become completely blind, or his power of sight has gone very bad. If you say, so same person is experiencing the three stages. Fine. So the eye has experiencing three stages, but the mind is experiencing, the same mind is experiencing all the three stages. Similarly with the ear. When I was small, when I was young, middle-aged till then, I was able to hear all type of sounds. Then slowly, I became old. I don't hear few feeble voices. Someone speaks slowly, little distant. I'm not able to hear. Then I went in advanced age, probably 90 plus and all. People has to come and shout, they has to come and scream at near my ear. Then only I can hear. Otherwise, next to me, someone is talking in the normal voice range, then I cannot understand. The same here has got total perception, partial perception, and total non-perception. But the mind is the cognizer, the mind is the knower of all these three changes. It is able to understand all these three changes. So the mind is the seer, perceiver, cognizer, and all the sense objects are seen, perceiver, are perceived, or cognized. So mind is able to understand, mind is able to know, mind is able to perceive all these three things. So that's why we have to understand. Means the mind is the knower and the sense organs are known. That's what we are trying to say. The same thing can be extended with the all other organs. So I'm not going to other sense organs. Now, the eye is completely changing a different level functionality. The ear is having its, changes. Then the nose also may have changed. Then the tongue may have changed. The skin may have changed, but the mind is constant, relatively again. So that's why the mind is the seer, the sense organs are the seen, are the perceiver, perceived, knower, and the known. Now, the question should come to all of you that, Swamiji, mind is highly restless. Mind is highly volatile. Mind keeps on changing. Probably the change in the mind is much more easier, much more probably more reflector, more understandable than the change in the organs, isn't it? Comparatively, if you say, yes, it is true. Now we are coming to that point where the mind is also changing, but there is a one thing which never changes at all. So that idea has been explained in the verse number 4. So the third part of the verse number 1 has been explained in the detail in the verse number 4. So here, seer number 3, we are trying to understand. Now, can we remember the seer number 3? Seer 1 was sense objects, the seer 2 was mind, the seer 3 is consciousness or chaitanya, that is self. काम संकल्प संदेहो श्रद्धा श्रद्धे धृति तरे रीहि दीहि बीहि इति एवं आदीन भासते kada chitihi. Chitihi means consciousness ekada. In the previous verse, if you see, mind is one. Manaha ekada, they told. Now, chitihi ekada, the author is telling, the consciousness is one. Then what are many? Kamaha, the desire. Sankalpa, determination to fulfill my desire, to get my desire to be fulfilled. Sankalpa. Sandeha. Sandeha means doubt whether I'll be able to fulfill my desire, whether I do get whatever I want, or I may not get, will I be able to get such type of doubts. Shraddha, Ashraddha. Faith and want of faith or lack of faith. Dhriti, Tare. Steadiness and its opposite. Means, now for an example, I want to be a good cricketer, good athletic. For that, teacher says that, okay, every day you have to do so many exercises, so many hours of practice. Okay, I start 1 day, 2 day, three, third day, fourth day, fifth day, fine. 6 day I sleep off. Seventh, eighth day I slept. Again I remember. Again I start. That's what it happens. But there are few people, once they decide, whatever it may be, till reaching their goal, they keep on doing it. That is Dhruti. I mean, they've got a strong determination. And for most of us, we have got opposite, that is weak determination. Dhruti, itare, steadiness, and its opposite. Then rihi, modesty. Dihi, understanding or wisdom. Bihi, here bihi means fear. So that's why Swamiji says, abhi, abhi. Abhi means fearless. Bhi means fear. Iti evam adina. And so many other things. Bhasayet, illumines. Who illumines? Ekadachiti, conscious illumines. So conscious is illumining the mind and its functions. So the conscious, in the first class itself, I told, conscious illumines the mind illumines the sense organs illumines the sense objects. Like self is illumining the sun is illumining the moon, and moon is illumining the earth in the night time. That's what we can think of. Now we saw first different variety of objects. The sense organs are relatively constant. Then afterwards, the sense organs are also undergoing changes, and the mind is the cognizer, mind is the perceiver of all the changes of the senses. That's what we understood. Now the author is trying to tell mind is also highly volatile. Mind is also restless. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sorrow. Oh, this today it was very good. I was very happy. Whatever I thought, all my projects or all my work or all my, thinking, everything has been fulfilled. Today it was a boring day. It was so much exhausted. Whatever I thought, nothing I could do. So different emotions, and sometimes I can, whatever I think I'll be able to do. Sometimes I'm not able to. Again, steadfastness, determination, lack of determination. I'm interested in some things, so I'm able to do easily. And some things, though I need it, but I'm unable to do because my mind is not liking it. So mind is tossed between, our mind is oscillated between likes and dislikes. Most of us, we suffer in this likes and dislikes. And that's, we feel that is very real. I'm very real and it is very true thing and all. No. So mind has to, go above from this likes and dislike. It has to work at the level of principles and level at the achieving goals, not at the level of likes and dislikes. And mind also sometimes becomes happy and unhappy and sometimes neutral. Neither it is happy nor unhappy. It has become very static, very neutral. Sometimes we also become. So different type of nature of the mind we see and we all perceive. It is a very known fact. It is a day-to-day experiential fact. And mind is sometimes ignorant. Mind is conscious of knowledge also. And in ignorance also it can be said partial ignorance, complete ignorance, partial knowledge, complete knowledge. That all these functions of the mind we know. Now coming to the different functions, we shall try to discuss few things. Desire. The desire is the root cause for all of our works, for all of our actions, for all of our experiences. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarvaramba Parityagi. The Bhakta's one great nature is, at the beginning itself, he renounces everything. Because you start doing something and you suffer or you enjoy, as a result, you have to do something. So at the root level itself, if you stop it, then there is no problem at all. Nip at the bud, we say. So any aramba, any beginning, he doesn't do. Means what? probably he's attained that Naishkarmya Siddhi. And that Naishkarmya Siddhi, actionless state, how one can achieve? Only one who has mastered the desire, one who has controlled the desire, one who is free from the desire. There's a very funny story. It happened in Tamil Nadu in one temple. Chumma Iruva Swami. Chumma Iruva Swami. Chumma means simply, actually, in Tamil. So, Chumma Iruva Swami means a Swami who sits simply. That is the story. So, he was staying in one temple. The temple had, the temple management belongs to the government. So, the government officer was always there. He used to manage the affairs of the temple. And there were many, clerks and the priest and so many other people who are doing their respective jobs. And every day, after offering the prasad, so everyone used to get like 1 packet, 2 packets, 3 packets, whatever it was, the tradition. And this Swami, the monk who used to live on the begging, on the alms, from long time there was established tradition that every day, morning and evening, after puja, 2 packets of prasad was given to him because he has to live on begging. So that was the tradition had followed for a long time. Once there is a change in officer, and that particular officer who came as a new person, he was very strict and was very sincere, and he used to see that no, not a single pie used to be wasted. Then after coming in no time, he never wasted time, and he started looking into the accounts and the expenditure, income, all these things. And in the expenditure things, when he saw day-to-day things, there is a mention that for Purohit or for a priest, 5 packets, for the person who brings water for and who helps for worship, for him 4 packets. Then the person who works in office, for him 3 packets, and that officer has got 6 packets, and this monk has got 2 packets. That monk, what is the description? Chummairava Swami. Simply sitting Swami has got 2 packets of prasad. This officer was very strict. He got annoyed. The Swami who is sitting simply, without not doing any work, at least all above people are doing work. For them, giving 3, 4, 5, 6 packets, fine. And this fellow is not doing any work. Why should we give 2 packets? Then he asked the concerned person, why are you giving 2 packets? He said, sir, before my coming itself, it was there. There's a tradition. No. I am very strict. Now, today onwards, nothing doing, no food, no packets, prasad packets should be given to him. Then the poor fellow had to nod his head because officer has said, fine. Then in the stipulated time, the monk didn't get the prasad. Then the temple was closed, and the particular person who used to distribute prasad, he was going on the way. The monk asked, my dear, what happened? Today I didn't get prasad. Then that particular person said, oh, monk, sorry, please excuse me. What can I do? I am helpless. The monk said, that's fine. What happened? You tell me. The officer who has come newly is very strict, and he has told that monk is not doing any work, and why should we give these 2 packets of prasad? Stop it. So he has ordered us, sir, please excuse us from today onwards or now onwards, you will not get any prasad which you used to get. You have to take care of yourself. Then the monk laughed and smiled and said, okay, you go. Then 2 or 3 days over, that officer was coming in that same way where the monk was sitting. Then by the time both of them, they had eye contact, the officer understood that, okay, this is that monk who is simply sitting Swami who used to get the 2 packets of prasad every day. The officer greeted him, oh, you are the person who is a parasite to the society. You don't do any work and sitting simply and taking prasad from the society every day, morning and evening, and eating nicely and wasting time. Why you people don't go and work something? And he started in a derogative way. The officer started, talking with the monk. Monk was sitting calm, quiet, and he listened everything. Then finally, when the officer finished his conversation, the monk asked, my dear, I got one question, one doubt. Will you clarify? Then the officer, what? You tell me. I am not a jobless person like you. I want to go immediately. I've got job. Then monk said, okay, I know that you are a very busy man, but you have got a lot of work. Fine. And you said that anyone can sit simply and it is a waste of time and all you are saying. Yes. Then why don't you come and sit with me for some time? No, I'm very busy. I cannot sit. No, I'm not saying today only or tomorrow only. Whenever you get time, why don't you come and sit? That is my challenge for you. The monk said, Then officer said, yeah, anyone come and sit. I mean, working is difficult. Simply coming and sitting is easy. I will come and sit. Whenever I'm free, I will send a word and I will come. Then 3, 4 days over, and the monk got information that answered, and today the officer is free relatively, so he's coming and sitting with you. The monk nodded his head, and the officer came, and the monk said, come, there's a next place next to me, please come and sit. So both sat. Monk, as usual, sitting simply, calmly sitting. Then this officer sat 5 minutes over, 10 minutes over, 15 minutes over. He started feeling restless. He started seeing here and there. Who is coming? Who is going? He started seeing. Then the monk said, no, you are not supposed to do anything. Keep quiet. Sit simply. Then half an hour over. And then that officer started inquiring, sir, I would like to ask one question about God. The Swami said, nothing doing. You are asked to sit simply, and you said anyone can sit simply, so you sit simply. Then there was no other alternative. Then this officer had to sit. Then 45 minutes, 1 hour over. Then again he said, sir, I have got a philosophical question, religious question. Please clear my doubt. The Swami said, nothing doing. You have to sit simply. No talk, nothing. Sit simply. Then 1.5 hour over, he started scratching his body. He started changing his positions, all these things. 2 hours over, he started becoming mad. And he got up, he did Dirga Danda Pranama, full flat, and said, sir, working is easy. Sitting simply is difficult. Now I understood. Please excuse me. From today onwards, you will get back your packet of prasad. So like that he said, and he went back to office and he said, instead of 2, from today onwards, you give 3 packets of prasad to that Swami. Like that. So sometimes we all feel that, oh, we are keep busy in working so from dawn to dusk, and so many years we are keeping working. So, we have to sit simply, and when this work will end and all. But when the work ends, we cannot keep quiet. Oh no, how can I keep quiet? Because the whole life I worked. Now, how can I sit? Quiet. So that they start searching for some other job, something new work, something they will try to find out. Because our mind is naturally restless. The same thing we can see in Ramana Maharshi's life also. A spiritual aspirant went and asked, Sir, I would like to realize self. You tell me, what should I do? The spiritual aspirant was expecting probably he may initiate me into some mantra, or he will give some spiritual exercises, or some upadesha he will give. He was expecting something big or spectacular or whatnot. Then Ramana Maharshi saw that aspirant. He smiled, he gave a pause, and just after a minute he said, You keep quiet. The aspirant started gazing at him. Sir, what did you say? I said, keep quiet. Sir, I am asking for self-realization. What should I do? I am asking, and you are asking, keep quiet. He said, fool, you are already self. You are that self. You have nothing to do to remember. Because you were doing so many things, and that's why you are not able to understand the self. So keep quiet, then you are that self. Then he opened his mouth and he was staring at the Brahmana Maharshi. Then he said, I understand you cannot keep quiet, so better you do good things. Then that aspirant said, then why should I do good things, sir? Because if you don't do good things, then your mind becomes bad and you will start doing bad things, or your mind will be thinking bad thoughts. That's why to avoid bad things, to avoid bad thoughts, you keep on doing good things. Keep on doing the good things, your mind becomes purified and you'll be able to understand who are you. Or the self-reflection happens, that is called Chidabhasa. Then the aspirant understands and he goes back. Actually, for self-realization, nothing has to be done. Then the next question comes, Swamiji, why should we listen to your Drsya Viveka class? Why? Because to understand this basic phenomena, because to understand this basic idea, because to remove the misconception, to remove the wrong ideas, wrong notion, you have to attend my Drsya Viveka class. So the desire is the root cause for all of our actions. Though we want to be quiet, we want to be peaceful, we want to have a composed nature, why we are not able to? Because of lot of desires. That makes our mind restless, that mind highly volatile and whatnot. And for that, you need a control. You have to have a control over the mind. For that, dhruti, that is determination you need. You have to decide, and you have to exercise your willpower of the, which is the power of the mind, to control your mind, to control your desires, or to tame your mind. Though we all hear all these things, but sometimes we get doubt whether can I do it, I'm able to do it. Such type of doubts we get it. And Swamiji was saying that scriptures are saying that, I mean, prophets are saying that fine, but what is guarantee? What is true? Is it right or wrong? Such type of doubts we may have got on ourselves, or on the scriptures, or on the God, or on the prophets. So this type of doubts can be there, which is the part, which is the function of the mind. And we can also have a faith. I can do anything. That self confidence. I've got a faith in the God. That is what devotion. I've got faith in the Guru's words, in the scriptures words. This is also, I mean, what you say, faith or shraddha or whatever. This is also part of function, part of the mind. So all these things, whether doubt or faith, highly volatile and strong-willed man, determination, all these functions, whatever you say, these are the part of the mind, nature of the mind. So mind is also continuously changing, but the cognizer or the perceiver is the same. I underwent so many modes of, so many feelings, so many emotions in this till my life, but the perceiver is the same. I, the notion of I, the notion of I, the notion of I. But the present day, my notion of I has been mixed with the body and mind. That's why it's called embodied soul or Jivatma. So that had to be separated. But the conscious, the I, the sense of I, which is a knower, is very important, and which is very constant, and which is one. And it is the seer always, and it is never the seen. Till now, sense organs were the seer. When it comes to mind, it became seen. With respect to sense objects, sense organs, the mind was the seer, and now with respect to consciousness, the mind became the seen. Then what about consciousness? What about the chit? It is always the ever seer, and it is never the seen. So, to make us understand that I am that consciousness, I am that cognizer, I am that chit, the author is making us to do all this intellectual gymnasium, thought process to reach to the source. That's why we have to keep on thinking I am not the seen, I am the seer. I am the perceiver, not the perceived. I am the experiencer, I am not the experienced. So I am the subject, not the object. I am the self, not the body and mind, nor the world. So, to understand, to have a firm conviction, and to experience, or to have a clarity of thought, we have to read this type of scriptures, and we have to keep on hearing this. May Sri Ramakrishna bless all of us, and let us have more and more proper understanding so that we can experience that bliss at all times. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.